ridiculous good or ridiculous bad? Because like it could be both.
So I think I've worked out today that my poor sense of direction might be a trait of people from Dagenham because me and Pat got to the ground about 2 hours early. And because it was so early, we were like, oh, let's go and get something to eat before we go in. So we were walking in one direction for about 40 minutes thinking we'll find something soon, and we never did. And then and then Pat was like, oh, I'll have a look on my phone and see what's around. So he found a McDonald's. And we were walking in the direction of this McDonald's for probably about half an hour. And I said to Pat, like, how far away are we now? And he got his phone out and he went, oh, McDonald's has disappeared. So we were like, all right, let's just turn around and walk back. So we walked back, found a KFC, luckily, ate in there, and then we started retracing our steps back to the stadium. And we were walking down this road one way, and two Dagenham fans were walking the other way. And they were like, oh, where are you going? Are you not going to the game? And we were like, yeah, we were hoping to go to the game. And they were like, well, you're going the wrong way. So we started following them. And it was about a 10-minute walk following them. And in that 10-minute walk, we picked up about 15 other Dagenham fans who were all lost.
Sounds like you were just like, I feel like it's just like the community is coming together. It goes, oh, we just pick up some stragglers and we'll just go together. And we're like, yeah, that's
bad. There was one guy, he was literally just stood in the middle of the road looking around. And as we walked past, the guy who was like leading the whole thing, he looked over and he went, "You a Dagenham fan?" And the guy was like, "Yeah." And he just
quite terrifying. It was like, I could imagine see all the group. You're a Dagenham fan? Yes. Goes, yeah, all right, okay, let's go. Okay, yes. Okay.
It's so ridiculous, man. Like it was literally just like the streets of Barnet were just littered with Dagenham fans, not knowing where they were.
That's a complicated situation. I guess I just can't. I feel like most Dagenham fans are just stuck in Dagenham himself. Okay.
Also, Pat's influence on the day was pretty clear because as soon as we got to the stadium, the fans behind us started chanting, "You're just a club full of nonsense."
I kind of want to make a running thing out of that, just like nonce, but as Pat uses it.
Oh man. But no, it's good. We won 2-0, so I've finally seen us score this season. So I can't complain really, apart from the sun draining my energy a bit.
At least it was sunny, right? It's not pissing down, I guess.
Well, I think I've burned my head a bit.
Okay.
I don't like that you're sorry. I just signed out and came back in, and you were just standing completely upright, and I was like, I didn't like that. I wanted to see you kind of go, rather than burnt my head a bit. If you get what I mean.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, Rob, my video is nearly uploaded to YouTube.
Oh, nice, man.
We have.
Are you doing a big premiere?
No, I am. I'm going to have shitty internet for a minute, but in half an hour, it shall be awake.
Nice, man.
Half an hour, we're still waiting for everyone else technically. And as I say that, Ben has just. Oh, I mean, I think he's come on.
And he's a fucking fourth person here. Holy shit!
Oh, Simon, you coming tomorrow?
I mean, I forgot what the fucking time was for it. I don't even remember. I
think Pat's put the table for 6:30, but I might be wrong.
I'll try. I can only say I'll try.
I had 6:30 in my head as well, so either we're both wrong or we're both right.
Well, if we're both wrong, at least we're eating together.
Oh.
But worst case, we can start a convoy and we can come to your shop and crowd surf you to Steak and Go.
Yeah, that works as well.
Yeah, we'll just say like, I'm sorry, Simon Boss, but we're kidnapping Simon.
Can Simon come out, please?
Yeah, yeah, that's how that would work. That's pretty much how that is.
Simon come out to play?
I think it is 6 o'clock, by the way.
Oh, it's 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
6:30 was. I mean, it's steak and co. I really doubt it's gonna be super busy. Though it is Sunday, so.
Oh, I was gonna say, it's rude.
No, I mean, like, no, it's just like that place usually has some space during it. Got when I pass by it, so I was thinking, but it's Sunday, so it might have a bit of a crowd. Oh well, we're gonna see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, that's tomorrow's business. So
My train's gonna be fucking dick tomorrow.
why?
I don't know because it's Sunday. Anticipating? Oh no. Oh
Anticipating.
no.
Oh, my mistake. I've just looked back at Pat's message. It was booked for 6:30. So
Ha!
you're right.
I fucking knew it.
6:30. Half an hour.
We're waiting for one. Pat, he said, don't wait up for him, and we're not sure about Emmanuel
Yeah, maybe
because,
be asleep.
well, yeah, but he was also the first person to score it. He scored this before he scored Predator,
yeah.
and I'm like, I was thinking, oh, okay.
But you know, I've watched it on the plane. I'm not sure. It's hard to say.
It was so weird, like just seeing the score for it being really high, and I was like, oh man,
It's gonna be so.
Emmanuel's gonna
Oh, wait.
fucking sink the shit out of this. And I was like, no, wait, he was the first to score it.
The unsunken.
Titanic.
Oh, it's because it's awkward now because as much as I love Emmanuel, because he likes
Oh, no.
this, but
Where's
then
this
he
going?
still said Morbius, it good. And he was like, oh,
Explain yourself.
Emmanuel.
This is the Morbius
It's
review.
that guy who likes Morbius.
We love you too. Yes.
Not only likes
How are
Morbius,
you?
but also likes Morbius in the worst possible way to watch a film. So it's not even as if like the
Oh, yeah.
experience was something you got to
It wasn't like it was like, oh, this is the best screen in the world. It
How
was
could
like,
you, Emmanuel? How could you?
To be fair, have you ever watched it on a tiny screen on the back of someone's head? You don't know. That might elevate it.
Maybe it benefits from things being missed. I don't know.
Maybe the fact you can't escape makes it more tolerable.
or like Jared Leto is in low resolution and you can't quite make it out.
You can't hear all the dialogue.
Okay, I'll just come and get all your blood. And then, have you?
I'll go first. He'll be fucked. You won't know where he is.
It's just like watching something on the tablet. It wasn't on the back of a seat because I have extra legroom seats.
Oh.
So I'm basically next to the door. Whenever
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had to fold it up from the bottom. So it's like I have the tablet kind of like I'm looking down at it a little bit, or look it in front of it / a little bit down.
Oh, did they give you the tablet?
No, it's because it's like part of like the chair, so you have to like lift
it's
it up.
I think they take it
right,
out a
okay.
bit or something. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean, all I can imagine is I can just imagine it's just that he was watching Jared Leto and I was like, he looks way more handsome in SD. That's probably about it.
I honestly thought it was all right.
Oh man.
Well, it's one of the things, right? I actually have not watched it I've watched clips of it, right? I haven't actually completely watched the movie. I'm worried that now that you said that, I'm going to watch it and go, oh, it's not that bad. and afterwards I'll be eating my own words. I'm just so worried about it right
Oh,
now.
man.
I'm gonna watch it and go, oh no, it's all right actually. Yeah. Oh, but shit, what have
You know
I
what?
become?
I went into it really wanting to like it because, like, beforehand, obviously it became a meme and everyone was
Yeah.
talking about how terrible it was. And I was like, I really hope that everyone's wrong about this because that'll be interesting. And then I got like half an hour in and I was like, I'm finding it really difficult to stomach this.
Oh man. But, I'd like to ask after I say, with me, I had rock bottom expectations, and I don't know if that helps. I thought it was going to be terrible and trash, but I was just like, you know what? I'm on a plane.
Yeah.
It's for free. Let me just see. I came across it on accident. I wasn't looking for it. I was looking for something else, but typed in the wrong thing because
Okay.
Morbin time.
What were you typing? And suddenly popped up Morbius. I'm really interesting, right? Because like you didn't go Corn Hub, right? And yeah, something else popped up. What did you type in to search for Morbius? I'm very interested. It's like,
Monpub.
I was
don't
thinking
know.
Moby. Oh wait, no Morbius. Okay, well I was like, all right.
I think I was trying to type in something else. It was like M-O.
What is Moby Morbi?
No, it's like he could have been typing. He said he searched Morbius accidentally. I'm just thinking, what could he have typed in Google to get Morbius? It's like,
His hand was possessed by the same thing that possessed him to like it.
Oh man. But yeah, the playing thing, the on-screen keyboard sucks. Eventually get the ones from my seat, physical one out so I could search things properly. But I saw that. I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me just see. I thought I was just gonna like fast forward through the movie just to see kind of what people were saying how bad it was. And I was just like, okay, let me see what this is like. I was like, you know what? That was, yeah, it was actually okay. It was just a decent film. One of Marvel's take on, even though it wasn't Marvel who did it, but one of their properties take on vampires. Like, I know it's not the kind of Blade line of vampires.
Blade was at least entertaining to watch, right? Come on now, that's like.
Oh no, Blade is great. Blade's a classic. This is more of a this is an interesting kind of science gone too far, trying to cure his own disease, but ends up creating his own demons. And I was like, okay, cool. It's kind of random at the end where they're trying to like obviously make it lead into other films, and he meets up with the Vulture, who is coming to the world because of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange's nonsense. That whole freaking movie. That was a much more annoying movie to watch than Morbius. That
No,
pissed me
really.
off.
I mean, I didn't think much of that one either, to be honest. But
Dang.
This one was just like, okay. That one was just like, why? Seriously, you could have done so many things, and this is what you did, just pissing me off.
Oh right, I think I see where he's coming from.
It's the
He expected
expectations.
better from Doctor Strange. He goes, "You're supposed to have a standard.
Yeah.
Why are you being shit?"
Oh, man.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Why were you finding it hard to stomach, Rob?
do you know what? It was so long ago that I can't even remember most of the specifics now. But there was a lot of the dialogue was annoying me, and there was a scene where Jared Leto is in like his lab type thing, and he's chucking a baseball against the wall, and it's supposed to be a reference to The Shining, where Jack Nicholson is chucking a baseball against the wall. But crucially, in Morbius, he's chucking the ball at nothing, and in The Shining, Jack Nicholson is chucking the ball at a Native American painting, and it's supposed to be a thing about generational trauma, and there's a lot wrapped up in it. And they recreated that, and it's just a blank wall. And I was like, that is summative of this whole thing. There's nothing going on in this. And then I was sitting there getting annoyed about that, and the two people in front of me got up and left, and I felt really silly for staying, so I joined them.
Nice.
Oh man, I didn't realize it was a reference to The Shining because I thought there's a lot of things and maybe there's more references that I haven't thought of, but I thought it was more of a reference to kind of a prison trope where you
Right,
put
yeah,
yourself
yeah,
in
yeah.
your own kind of prison, which he was kind of doing at that time, locking himself away from the outside world. And it's kind of like the classic throw a ball against the wall because what else do I have to do to stay sane in this place? So I didn't think about The Shining, but if it was, then yeah, that made no sense. But if it was just a prison thing, then I'd be like, yeah.
I can't
think
remember. There was
He learned to fly. I said, "Whee."
there were so many lines where I was like getting so annoyed, but I can't remember any of them now.
It's maybe it's because you're much to me you're much better at like in terms of script writing, reviewing things and seeing things. Obviously Alec it probably feels the same, and Ben probably feels the same, but I think I only get annoyed with script writing when it's lazy in the way that they take shortcuts. It's like the difference between how in Aliens the blood is acid, so they have reasons why they don't shoot it, compared to them just doing a shortcut and being lazy and putting some nonsensical reason in to be like, oh yeah, this is why they don't shoot. But that makes no sense. Or you know when people take shortcuts. That's what annoys me the most. But I don't tend to notice dialogue as much, but it's also the reason why I can read some books that aren't written well and still enjoy them, because I don't notice the bad writing and dialogue as much.
Yeah.
I notice
important and not important for different reasons for different people, isn't it? It's like, oh well, if you like this character and you can get behind this character and you're like, oh yeah, they speak in a weird way, but their story is compelling, you're interested. But if the character is like not compelling, the story is well done, and it's like, why is this happening? Because this character is just so like frustrating because of what they do. And I understand how you look at things in that way, because it's the character, it's everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Alec, did you see it?
No, I've genuinely never seen Morbius.
Okay.
Oh,
I just felt like taking the piss.
Yes, pretty much. So, oh wait, is Pat not? Oh, he's still coming along, right?
He said just start.
he's on the
All right.
toilet.
He's apparently
the-
arguing with Amazon about something.
Oh,
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 that
right.
is.
Now's the time. Now Ben needs to like fuck off in 15 minutes. Now's the time to get stuck in to Amazon.
I shall.
Okay. So Simon, what did you choose this film? Well, you see, guys, I really do like this film. It's quite an interesting film. I find it, to say very simply, it good. I know that it good doesn't mean a lot nowadays, but like it's still good. I feel like this film was very concept for it was very interesting. I watched this film, realized that there was a manga based on this film, then went, damn, this is such an interesting concept. Let's read the manga. I thought this is it's a story that kept with me for a while. And I was like, when we did film, and so when I joined Film Club, I was thinking, I will choose this film eventually. Don't know when, but I will choose it eventually. So I felt like, yeah, gotta choose it now. Because I remember one of the actors is Bill Paxton. And Bill Paxton is from Predator as well. So in theory, this is an alien quintology.
Yes.
Star Beast quintology.
He's in Predator 2. It doesn't count.
Hey,
Where's
Predator 2
Predator?
counts more than anything else.
Yeah, but if it's an alien, so yeah, and it works. It's still linked.
Wait, so Simon, did you say that there's a manga based on this? So this wasn't adapted from a manga?
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Did I say manga based? No, there was I watched this film first, then realized there was a manga, and I was like, yeah, definitely go check out
So
the manga.
this is adapted from the manga.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right, yeah.
I just saw Emmanuel about to slap the shit out of you. You corrected yourself. It's okay.
Wrong turn of phrase. So yeah, the manga. But yeah, I've watched this film, and I thought, as a person who plays lots of video games, and as Pat was trying to explain, it is very much like a roguelite, which is like it's like a randomized like game path. So every time you try to play the game, the path might change a bit, but it's generally the same sort of things, and you try to play again and again and again and again. And it was like, oh, you just play it so much that you go, I can pretty much do this blindfolded. And it was just fun to watch that sort of like progress and how far he'll get into his own story. And that was like such a fascinating thing just to watch in movie form. And it was so good to see it like that. And that's why I chose this film. It's such a good actors, interesting story, even greater like backstory to the story. So it was like, yeah, it's a great choice for the film club. And I'm quite glad that you guys generally liked it.
It was
I thought
actually,
it was cool.
Yeah,
it
I
was
was
actually a
good.
very rare thing for me because I scored the story the first go around, and I had some problems, and then I watched it again. And I was like, oh, there's actual kind of reasons why the things are set up the way that they are, and we can get into that later. But I was like, oh, I think there's like a general sort of thought that you can ruin anything by looking at it too much. But this is a case where I looked at it too much and it got better. So, yeah. Take that, Ben.
Shocked. I
What'd you
just
say?
shocked.
Oh. I'm just going to go, fuck you. That's my opening statement, I guess.
Ben, did you want to do yours next or me?
Yeah, I'll say my piece. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. When I first saw it, it was one of those sleeper hits kind of films. Like it came out, and not everyone really didn't expect much of it going in, and yet when everyone saw it, they're like, actually, this was pretty good. It has originality, but it actually has a lot of elements from other things that kind of put together. It makes it something completely original, but it still borrows from ideas that we know and love. So I thought that's what's really clever about it. It's just got the elements of a war movie like Saving Private Ryan, science fiction setting, kind of like Starship Troopers, but with the time travel element like Groundhog Day. So all those things mixed together. It's something you haven't seen before in this context. So I felt it's fascinating and it's entertaining, and it's just a very one of Tom Cruise's best films in my opinion. And I think it has a lot of going for it. And like Alex says, it's a film that it's one of the rare films that gets better and better the more you see it, the more you like look at the intricacies of how the story is constructed and how the plot goes from A to B. It seems to be like it's very well thought out, and how the context of it, of when it was made into now, it still holds up, and the visual effects are still good as they were.
You missed a trick there. You could have gone A to B to A to B to A to B to A to B.
A to B, back to Z, back to B. Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's a clever time travel thing, but it isn't quite a time travel story like you'd expect to see in something like this, which is quite visual as well. And it's one of those things that we've all seen these end of the world doomsday scenarios, but it doesn't feel like it's the same thing. It's not a retread of just, oh great, aliens here, take over the world. We've got to do this and that to destroy them, blah blah. It is that, but it's done in a way that's just compelling because you don't know how they're going to do it because the stakes are so high and so inconceivably mind-boggling. Is that this doesn't make sense, but you're still with the journey, and you go through the journey with the characters and realize, oh, this is how they're doing it. So it's a smart film. For a blockbuster, it's really quite refreshing. Over to you, Mel.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. The basically, when I started smiling, I changed my name to the main character in the manga.
What a fucking nerd.
Oops. Keiji Kiriya.
Yeah, so Crazy Cage.
Crazy Kate.
No,
Yeah.
seriously, that's his nickname afterwards. They call him Crazy Cage.
Yeah, Crazy Cage or Killer Cage, I think.
Is he? Is I suppose, oh no, it might be Killer Cage. Yeah, actually, yeah. But yeah, Cage is part of his name.
Yeah. Hey, Mac.
Oh, man.
Man.
Wait, at the Mac. Mac the
Mac.
Mac.
Where's cheese?
Return of the Pack.
Actually, that's another reference. I get it. His name is Bill Cage.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
No, it just flew past me. Killer Cage. It's because I only recently reread the manga, so I had a different experience to you. I read All You Need Is Kill close to when it originally came out. So it came out round about the time as Death Note was really popular and whatnot.
Oh.
And I think after I kind of was reading Death Note for a while, someone told me about this cool manga called All You Need Is Kill. It's really short, just read it. I was like, all right. So it's like, yeah, near school days, to be honest, or like A levels. So I read it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I mean, was pretty bleak, but it's all right. And then I heard that a film was being made about this. I was like, wait, what? What? I was not expecting anything good. But I was like, wait, Tom Cruise? Well, I'll give it a chance. So eventually it came out years later. I watched it. I was like, man, this is, in rewatching it, I was just like, this is probably one of the only times I'd ever say I preferred the adaptation to the manga. There's certain reasons I would say, which I can get into later, but I thought overall they did a really good job. And yeah, I was really happy with the adaptation. Just to say, even though we're not talking about Predator, just to kind of sum up
Oh yeah.
my views on it, since I wasn't here.
I love the structure of these. They're so good.
It's like the Edge of Tomorrow, the loop. We're going back.
Yes, ATB.
We didn't do it with enough negativity last time, so we're going back and we're doing it right.
The Predator, I realized I haven't watched the whole film before. I've watched bits and pieces, and I don't know why or how or when, because I remembered very much the guy who keeps shaving his face as a nervous habit. Oh, that guy. I didn't know he directed Sister Act 2 and took him
Really?
into.
Did he really?
Oh, there's
Yes.
2 directors in this then. Well, that's insane.
Also written by the guy that wrote the Jack Reacher films as well, or directed the Jack Reacher films.
Cool.
Oh wow, there's another one. There we go.
Something
Is it?
Macquarie. I can't remember his first name.
Oh, you mean Edge of Tomorrow? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you're
thought
talking
you
about
meant-
Predator.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, 3
No, no,
directors in Predator. What the hell's going on?
All right, that'd be really cool. So, all this talent coming out this film. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not around anymore. But yeah, I remember him, and then I remember seeing the famous meme of them locking arms in the biceps. That's where that meme comes from. I didn't realize that.
Gosh.
Imagine
Son of a
when you
bitch.
saw that for the first time, did you find the scene seemed like it lasted forever because you'd seen the memes that you watched?
Not really. I didn't think it lasted that long, but saying that, I used to know someone who was an avid arm wrestler who did tournaments and stuff in the UK and abroad.
That's
Like,
niche.
yeah, it is.
Emmanuel, I
used to
told you to stop talking about. Jeez.
This guy, his arms were hinged, but he's quite funny. He's quite a short guy, but he's like short Italian guy, but he's got these hinged arms, and I could just imagine someone like him who's into that doing this. So it's just like that was about an appropriate amount of time, to be honest. Especially if they're just kind of flex and whatnot. But looking back on it, I do agree with you, Rob, that in just a general film, it did last too long. I think it's too long for most people. I just wasn't in the normal headspace to realize it was too long.
The thing is, it's like fishing. It always goes on a bit too long.
Damn it! I wanted to say it, but I was like, I didn't want to. I don't want to bring it up. I was like, my face was just like,
But
don't say it. Do not say it.
It's like, what?
Fishing.
Fishing. He spent the whole call comparing Predator to fishing.
And then Alec has been bringing it up all week. You know,
Yeah.
as per-
Oh man, to fishing.
Yeah, it's fishing. Let's not bring it up right now, okay? Because it
That
will
was brilliant, mate.
we'll
Because
repeat
that tone
ourselves.
was just like, yes, fishing. What else would I compare it to?
I'm so confused.
Just
I'm
watch-
not confused, but also confused. But I get it. But also, why fishing? Anyway, I get it. Hear what I said,
Okay.
Rob.
Let's go for a new timeline path. Rob, what was your take on the film on Edge of Tomorrow?
I thought it was really cool, man. Like it kind of passed me by when it first came out, which is I don't know, in a way it made me a little bit sad because like what Ben was saying about it being a sleeper hit, like it's just I don't know, it felt like it just kind of came and went and nobody really noticed it very much. Which is weird when you think that it's like a Tom Cruise film with a huge budget. Like and yeah, I don't know. I suppose going into it with the expectations from that, I probably didn't think there was going to be a lot to it. Um, and then yeah, when I was watching it, I was like, this is actually quite sad because if you was to put like a big IP on it as a name, then I feel like this would have got like so much credit from so many people, but it just seems to have been forgotten about already, and it's only like 8 years old or 9 years old now. So yeah, in that respect, I'm really glad you picked it because I don't think I'd have ever watched it off my own back, and I thought it was really cool. I think like the whole thing about the whole thing where with the sort of dying and coming back and like reliving the same day and like all of that kind of stuff. It's interesting because you don't really see it in like an action context too much. So that was pretty cool. I think like it tends to be kind of like films where the moral of the story is to sort of learn about yourself and get over this big kind of like personal hurdle, which in a way it does, but yeah, having it in that kind of like sci-fi action context was really cool. And yeah, I just thought it was a really well put together film. And like in terms of modern blockbusters, like you don't tend to see sort of like huge budget films that are like. I mean, I know this is an adaptation, but it's not an adaptation of something that was like previously like hugely popular. So you don't tend to see those kind of like huge blockbusters anymore. So yeah, I think it's nice that you've put a bit of a spotlight on this one.
And it being the first Tom Cruise movie that you guys chose,
Which is
was like
mad.
which is a bit odd. I was like, oh, you guys have been doing this for how many couple years now, and you haven't chosen one Tom Cruise film? It's like, huh, weird.
Pat's been threatening it for 2 years.
Which is
I've got a list this long of Tom Cruise films I want to pick.
And it's all in size 6 font.
And the thing is, Tom Cruise, Nick Cage, and Arnold Schwarzenegger are probably the three that I'm sort of got longer lists for than any other actor. And I think I've only picked like one Arnie film.
Yeah, you
Not
have
Tom
only,
Cruise.
and that was bad movie round.
And I
It was
picked one,
fantastic.
and I pick one Nick Cage film a year.
That was good.
You haven't
Just,
picked one this year yet, have you?
I haven't picked one this year yet.
No.
Okay.
No.
Use Snake Eyes. That would be fun.
Oh man. Oh, what about the one with the new one? He's a vampire.
Oh,
He's a vampire. He's a vampire, is he? A vampire, not Dracula, the vampire. He's a vampire.
It's an okay film.
I know about it.
I went and saw it Monday. If you haven't seen it, don't rush to see it. It's decent. It's okay, but it's
Shit.
no, I wouldn't say shit. Well, you probably would, but you know, but it's not something you need to rush out to watch.
Oh man.
Because it's shit.
Oh yes. Sorry. Because I didn't finish. Rob, did you hear what I said earlier about the scene going too long?
The what? Sorry.
The arm thing going too long.
Did you hear what I said about it?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I had my camera off, but I was doing.
All right, cool. Sorry, I just want to get this out the way so that I don't bring it up anymore in this call. Overall, the kind of first half of the film, I was just like, I mean, you've got some stuff I could care less about, but you know, it's okay so far. I mean, the acting leaves a bit to be desired, but this old Arnie.
It's just Arnie in general, isn't it? You
yeah.
can't.
You gave it a 10 for it.
Yeah, I did raise an eyebrow at that.
Wait, I did?
No,
no,
Pat
Pat
did.
Right.
Oh,
So when I give 10 for acting, it's not necessarily all going to be how great the acting is. It's more sort of how entertaining the acting was. Entertainment value for the acting was through the roof. Acting quality, not so much.
Yeah, but isn't that your enjoyment score instead of acting score, though?
No. There's not enough room.
Okay.
Entertainment bleeds through every category for
Yeah,
Pat.
every orifice.
Enjoyment score is the whole film in general. The entertainment score is, or the acting score is just how I see the acting in general. I know it seems quite confusing, but that's
I kind of get why you've given so many films straight tens now. Because like, if you're going, I enjoyed the story a 10 and I enjoyed the acting a 10, and like you go through, then you can't really give enjoyment anything but a 10 at that point.
Oh,
yeah, like
Okay, so it's
Arnie.
enjoyable at the level of a 10.
Arnie's a terrible actor. But my God, I love watching him do whatever it is he's doing.
done better. He's done better acting, like in
In
other.
bad movie round.
Actually, no, he has one really good acting film where I think it was like one of his first films after he gave up or got voted out of office. Called Maggie. It was a post-apocalyptic thing. That was like I didn't believe that he had that in him, but the rest of it is like, you know, 70s, 80s cheese.
I wonder if that was because of the political training he did.
Perhaps.
Oh yeah, maybe actually that's a good point.
'Cause-
But then to be fair, I do also think that he was maybe handicapped a bit because in the 80s it was probably like a prerequisite of casting him that he had
You
to
can't
like
just
shout
say
something.
that about people.
Hmm?
You can't just call people handicapped.
I didn't say he was handicapped. I said he was handicapped.
Okay. I know my internet was a bit laggy there, so I was questioning what the fuck you just said. All right, okay, yeah. Woo, whoa, okay. Oh, okay.
And then he took an arrow to the knee. Sorry. But out of other stuff, like he's done better. But it was like anyway, that wasn't the main thing about this film. So I was like, yes, it's okay. It's cool. Some dumb decisions being made. Okay, this is definitely a classic old action film where they're doing some very actiony stuff that's not realistic, but I'm not judging it. Not judging it. And then it got to the part of the film where it was just Arnie and the Predator for the longest time. And I was just like, what does this film come to? It felt like it felt like a really long ad for masculinity and being a real man for the whole film.
Emmanuel, it's an 80s action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. What did you expect? It's kind of like, it's just like hand in hand, to be honest, right?
I guess so. This is why the stars like that didn't go for Die Hard, which was their loss.
That's an interesting thing, actually, because I was saying last week, it really surprised me that the director did this before Die Hard, because the problems that he had on Die Hard, you would expect to be to be before that he'd done a film like Predator.
Nah, 'cause people saw Predator and went, nah, don't give it a lot.
I realized it was the same director. So I guess he was just like, you know what? I want to do something different. I want to modernize this a bit. Make it a bit more, inject a tiny bit of realism in there or something. I don't know. Still, great film. But Predator, that makes it interesting. But yeah, Predator, when it got to the part with Arnie and the Predator, you had cool bits, but overall it was just like, feels like it's dragging. I feel like this film could have been written a bit better with people, I don't know, with having more people to die off later rather than most of the people are already dead. And it's just Artie, and who knows what happened to the girl? She's somewhere in the forest, maybe. It was just kind of like oh, we've killed everyone now. Now let's have a face-off. I'm just like, what? You could have done more. You could have made it more tense. I mean, Aliens drags it out more, which I like. I mean, a lot of films tend to do that anyway. The pacing at which people die is spaced out. So there's a bit more kind of tension and stuff. But this one is just more like, it's just man against alien. Who will win? I was like, I see what you're doing here.
The main character.
I'm not here
The
for
guy
it.
with the fishing rod.
I know it was. I also was confused. I wasn't confused, but it was kind of interesting when the Predator took off his mask to kind of just enjoy it raw. I guess be like, yes, this is so much fun. It's like, yes, you are ugly.
What a thing to hear after Enjoy It Raw. Yes, this is so much fun.
But it wasn't terrible. There was a lot of get to the chopper, which I didn't mind. I was like, oh, yeah. I
You're a
didn't
little
really,
bit Scottish then. There's a lot of get to the chopper.
Oi, get to the chopper.
Not going to be here all day.
man.
I've got a haggis in the oven.
Oh, man. I wasn't even trying, but yeah, I'm terrible. But yeah, I didn't realize he said it that much. But it wasn't terrible. It's like it wasn't really for me.
You know, at work we were talking about scenes in films that make us tear up. I went, yeah, it's Predator, man. Predator when he says, "Get to the chopper," I'm just gone. I'm just a wreck. If it
So, yeah.
bleeds, we can kill it.
That is a great line, to be fair.
There is, yeah, it's quite-
that's like the pinnacle of 80s action dialogue.
I think I probably would have enjoyed it more if it was with
Better.
if it was done by Ridley Scott or someone.
Hey.
But not
Sorry.
James Cameron.
Wait, no, who? No, Ridley. Wait, who did Aliens?
Yeah. Oh, Aliens was James
James
Cameron.
Cameron.
Okay. Okay, maybe not. Wait, it's the writer who did Dark Star.
Oh no, that's Alien. That's Dan O'Bannon.
Sorry, yeah, not Aliens. I'm sorry, Alien. I think I would have.
Alien is the one with the one alien, and Aliens is the one with the lots of aliens.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred it with that director of Alien, just to be a bit more serious. I mean, I don't know if he can make a war film, but
Oh no, to be fair, he made Black Hawk Down.
oh, did he?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
not a horror film.
No, it's
A
a war
war-
film.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
Having
kind of in
a-
the jungle.
Having a quite realistic war alien film would have been quite interesting, like an old one like that, I think. But it's what it is. That was my views on it.
Okay. But what were your views on this realistic war alien film?
Oh yeah, I was thinking
Yeah, with
point of an old film, not a new film. Like seeing it old. But this film, the reason going into the reasons I was saying about how I prefer the film adaptation to the manga was that I think there's two main reasons. And it's not that the manga's bad or anything. The manga's good. It's just that one, the manga is really bleak. Like the ending and the way it is, it's not it has no happiness in it. I say happiness in it. You have happy conversations and stuff, but it's not a happy ending. It's very reflective of, like, I would say, Japanese life. But which
Oh right, yeah, you kill your happiness. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see where you come from there. Yeah.
there's a lot of manga out there that reflects a lot of what they're going through anyway. And it's just like, we're going through all this crap in life, but we're still alive. So it's beautiful, even though we're verging on the point of, is life pointless? Is life pointless? Let's not think about that and just keep going. And it's just like, that's the kind of ending it feels like. And while it's kind of like having, I don't know, a Watchmen style ending or whatnot. It can be quite realistic and it's good. It's just, I prefer the ending to the movie. Also, I wish the manga was much longer. I assume the artist or the mangaka didn't get as much budget or run for it, or maybe they just wanted to do a really short story. But unlike in the film feels like a natural progression of the manga. The manga only gets up to basically kind of talking about and killing the alphas, the original ones that bled over Tom Cruise, that bled over the main character, that gave them that ability. But it doesn't go beyond that. So in the manga, it's proper bleak in the way that it feels like it's just going to keep going on forever and ever. They don't even know a way to stop the invasion. Like, but in the film, again, it feels like a natural progression. It makes sense that the Omega would be the kind of main relay that goes out to the Alpha, which then goes out to these kind of mimics and whatnot. So I think it's more that I like how the film kind of did what I felt the manga would have gone on to do, or kind of, if it kept going. There are things I prefer in the manga, but still, I like the film, and also the fact how most of the suits were mostly real, and they tried to like have a good balance between CG and realism. So I wonder what kind of training Emily Blunt had to go through just to use it, because she mentioned how heavy that suit was and how hard a time she had at first, like using it and acting in that kind of costume. So yeah. And what do you think, Simon?
Well, actually, it's interesting you mentioned the ending, because there was actually supposed to be an alternate ending, which was based on the manga, which was all bleak and depressing, where one of the guys, like, you know how right at the end, like they're going through like to the Omega, to the main like final boss creature. One of the guys actually accidentally killed an alpha, so it reset the day. So they would have actually not been. They actually didn't kill the Omega supposedly, and it actually would have reset, and they all would have died. But Tom Cruise was like, "No, this is too depressing. This is one of my movies. I want a happier ending." And I was like, "All right,
Well,
fine, Mr. Cruise, we'll do it for you." And
if
it's like, yeah,
if it's the thing generating the time loops, then yeah, I imagine if you do kill it, then yeah, because like it only reverses the time back when he's covered in the blood. So yeah, it's just one more. I don't know. I could see what someone would make it. I could see why someone would say like, "Oh no, it should reset back being alive," but it just made sense to me that it wouldn't be if it was the thing generating time loops.
well, I mean, also it only generate because this is I think I understand where you're coming from the conversation. I've heard this conversation before. It only goes back 24 hours in one day, and because it actually didn't go past midnight yet, technically speaking, it didn't reset it reset itself backwards another day when he was back onto the helicopter. Someone told me, it's like, shouldn't he have been back where he woke up beforehand when he was like, tasered and stuff? He's like, no, it didn't go past midnight yet. It wasn't 24 hours yet, so he had to go through it.
I'm not sure I like that.
Well, I mean, like, that's supposedly the counter argument for that. But like, also, I feel like some people have also misunderstood. It's like, it's not just that one Omega. There's a couple more Omegas as well. Like this, because they haven't actually, because it took them a while to take over most of Europe. But it's like there's still quite a lot of like the aliens. There's still like the first meteor that hit like Germany is what I want to say, and it spread out from there. But they haven't actually, if they hit France, now they could go back and like finish the job in Germany. That's what it was supposed to be in like the sequel that never got made, because I think it was an interview with like Emily, but she's like, it's too expensive. We can't make it anymore. I was like, okay, fair enough.
Oh man, fair enough. Also, another thing to add to the bleakness of it, in the manga, the two main characters, so just like in the adaptation with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, neither of them lost their ability, like lost the power, and
that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Well, it worked out in this film in the manga for different reasons, but it also didn't work out because in the manga, to successfully stop the loop, one of them had to die, but they had to kill each other. So they had to fight each other after they or especially after the main character anyway, start to care quite a bit for this lady. They're having to fight and kill each other. So versus in the film with Tom Cruise is trying to do everything he can to save her life, in the manga, even though he's just like, obviously there must be another way, it's very much I guess there isn't, and we literally have to fight until one of us dies. And it's just like, man, this sucks. It's just like, you've become a backup antenna. So even though we've killed this alpha, we've done all this stuff, even though you've done everything, the day's just going to keep resetting, because every time you freaking kill it, it's going to bounce the signal back off to you to reset the day. So one of us has to die. It's just like, what?
Yeah, it was depressing to see it.
I wish you were in this.
Yes.
Huh?
You just have the full exposition, like just given it. You just have you go, what?
Yeah, because it's kind of like it's when they go to, like, you know, you go to that weird mad scientist doctor guy who's got all the holograms and they're explaining it, and then it's just like Tom Cruise is just sitting there. It's like, right, okay, and that explains this because there's aliens that are bigger aliens. What? It was so confused by it because it was so good too, because it was doing such a big exposition jump, and it was like, you should know this, right? No, this is the first time I've been here. I don't know what the hell is happening. And it's like, because the second time it goes round, it goes, yes, you're Dr. So-and-so. You got 2 fingers behind your back. It goes, oh, so we've done this already. Yes. Okay, so we'll just skip the dialogue. Fast forward. Yeah, just go, because we're not sure how many times he has actually died in the movie, because because the perspective it's shown. Well, this is a comparison to the manga. The perspective is in the manga obviously mainly on Keiji and on Cage himself, but the perspective in the movie is pretty much everyone else like perspective of Cage. He's like, especially when they're like with the helicopter scene, and it's like, you want 3 sugars for your coffee, yeah? And she's like sitting there with the coffee. It's like, how many times have we done this, right? And it's like, she's thinking, yeah, she was like, oh fuck, we've been here quite a few times now, haven't we? And it just completely dawns on her. It's like,
It really reminds me of About Time. Just when he's standing there and he's going like, 3 sugars, isn't it? And she's like, you creepy bitch. How long have we fucking been? Stop doing this shit with the... Because you'd be annoyed. You'd obviously be annoyed. But she's going... like, put the fucking coffee down, twat. What the fuck have you done?
As soon as she was like, you actually found coffee, I was just like, wait. No, it wasn't even that point. The point that made me realize is just like, wait, they've done this before. He's been here already. He's like, remember to unhitch the caravan.
yeah, all right, yeah.
But she didn't clock. The way he said it in a way as if she didn't last time. But she didn't clock how he said it. So she was just thinking, oh yeah, just I'll unhitch it. Oh yeah, I forgot to. And then she's like, oh, you actually managed to find coffee. It's like, you're still not clocking on yet.
Well, yeah, we've done this quite a few times already, and it's like, yeah.
There's a reason he found coffee in this dump of a derelict house.
which funny enough is funny because Emily Blunt has done this a few times, because she's in Looper, and I think that house is the one that's in Looper. So it's like, all right, yeah. So it's like, oh yeah, that's wow. Emily Blunt is the time traveler as well. Wow, that's amazing. Which is what she used to do, because she had the same powers as him and reset the day thousands of times as well. And he's reset the day a few thousand times as well. So it keeps repeating. And I guess it'll get to anyone, right? Because after a while, you see like the mental toll it'll take on Tom Cruise, especially when he's doing the training with the robots again by himself. And it's like, I've actually watched you get on this helicopter and watched you die so many times. It's not funny, and it's not it's so depressing.
It's not funny anymore.
It's like sorry, that's my mind process. So it's like I can't even process it properly because it fucks his brain.
It was funny the first couple of times, but go on, stop it now.
But I mean, like, yeah, because like imagine, or it's funny for like the first time he died, a few first times. Remember how he's running across the beach and he's like he's running towards her, fucking gets slammed by the thing, and after she runs, he goes, "Oh wait, stop for a second." Goes past, runs towards her again, then another alien fucking kills him, and it's like, it's kind of funny, right? It's like
I did find that funny because I was like, that wouldn't have killed Ethan Hunt. He would have just got up and continued running.
Oh man, the one death where he got run over, that was great.
okay, that was
He was just like, "This is such a bad idea. Whatever, let me try it."
That was actually one that made me go, we're using this armor to fight super cool deadly aliens, but you can't deal with a Range Rover.
well, I mean, he had to roll underneath it, right? So he didn't have the armor on it as well.
Also,
Oh no, I just meant that little bit of the montage when like he's just like, hey, and he's running
Oh,
toward
right,
her, and then the
right.
thing just see the little helmet.
Oh.
Someone's looking at the suits and going like, God damn, these look so fucking heavy. Like I don't, and these mimics are so fucking fast. I was just like, how does it? I'm sure it makes some kind of sense, like somewhere like you reach a bit of a balance. But then he just got done by this little jeep, and I was like,
But that's what makes it funny.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
So, and then the next time he makes it. But like you said, they don't show us, unlike in the manga where he writes on his hand literally every single time he repeats, and they kind of keep count, so you know how many times he's repeated things. I think it gets up to like 160 or whatever,
oh fuck.
around about that time, around about that many times. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's similar in the movie, because there's many times where obviously they don't show everything, but you know he's done certain things so many times to the point he could have avoid that guy trying to punch him for them getting roasted, for him escaping with his eyes closed. He's just like, yeah. I've done so many times. I'm tired. You done? Okay, cool.
I bet you would have loved that because that was the most manga. That was the most anime thing. Just he's going like, I'll put my hands behind my back and then I'll just dodge every punch you do. I was just like, god, this is so anime.
It's funny though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
It's like fishing.
Well, no, I'll say the most anime part is definitely the blonde girl in a mech suit wielding a helicopter blade as a sword. Yeah, I think that's definitely the most anime thing I could put.
Yeah, I did have to kind of just go like, the sword only works when you're in the mech. Obviously, you can't use the sword if you're not in the mech. Because I moaned about the fucking minigun last week, I was like, it's in the mech, it's okay. Because I was gonna bring up actually how it's handled better in Aliens, like having the heavy weapon kind of thing, because Vasquez has like that robot arm that's supporting her gun.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. And then this is just like, oh yeah, I've got an apparatus that lets me use a helicopter blade as a thing. It's like, yeah. Not just, I'm just carrying a minigun around in a fucking jungle.
Man.
I mean, if she was just carrying that sword just by herself, then afterwards she'd just go, "Hey, that's anime." That's yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Saying that in the manga, they had battle axes, but they were like, I think almost 200 kg or something ridiculous, but they were so heavy that you couldn't use it like even, I guess, I don't know. Actually, it's probably used like a normal battle axe. But point is, it's so heavy that it you have to time the inertia of the actual swing. So if you swing in the wrong direction, you're screwed. You will go in that other direction. And that's just you done.
Yeah.
But it was their way of like killing a whole bunch of things. Like it was an interesting way of fighting, though that would have been much harder. And I think I liked how they did it in this. It seemed quite realistic that she's got that kind of what helicopter blade, whatever kind of thing, and he's stuck to using guns.
Well, I mean, do you remember the reason why he had the axe?
Yeah, because he ran out of ammo.
Yeah,
And
so it's like, I can't kill
ammo.
enough aliens. I've got to find a way as a backup plan to kill more aliens. So it's like, battle axe. Yeah, that's it. That's like the first things to come out.
But I think it works either way, I think. And to be honest, it's a nice dynamic to have. One of them being the one who, and also in the adaptation, it kind of works because there's times in the script where you need someone who can shoot because of how they wrote it. There's multiple times when they're both fighting together that if they were both close combat fighters, it would be quite a different situation. Like even when they was in the car, he can't just shoot it. He would have to actually get on top of the car, start hitting it, and jump back in the car and all sorts of nonsense acrobatics, whatever. Acrobatics. There you go. Can't even say the word right. But I think it was a nice dynamic to have. He was good with the gun, so he could take over any gun like near the end of the film. So even though I did both using battle axes in the manga and just fighting side by side. That was really cool. But yeah. Sorry, I've talked a lot.
Oh, it's okay. Just let's talk about the film and not the manga.
What?
Sounded genuinely hurt by that.
Talk about the film and not the manga. What? You can't be serious.
I was surprised actually that the people who wrote it it seems like the three people who are on the writing stuff are just people that are like usually on Tom Cruise stuff. Like there's one guy, actually one of the guys did The Usual Suspects, but one of them did Top Gun and one of them did Mission Impossible, and
Yeah, Chris McQuarrie's really cool.
I was really surprised that there was no like anime people on the like on the writing, just because like there's so many little bits that are like you like the bit where the recurring bit where it's like, oh, there's a dead guy in that suit, and then he comes back and he's like, because he's seen it a couple of times, he makes the joke before the other guy does. That's such an anime moment. Like, there's so many bits of dialogue like that where it's like, yeah, that's lifted straight out of an
Oh
anime.
no, that wasn't an anime moment. That was really good.
No, that was an anime moment.
I really liked that.
Well, it doesn't mean it can't be an anime moment.
Yes, no, it does. It does.
No, it doesn't.
I think there is something similar to that in the actual manga as well. So
Nah,
that is an anime moment.
nah. It's like fishing.
Honestly, when I saw it, like the
Sorry.
image in front of me of Tom Cruise just got replaced by an anime guy with floppy hair.
Anime. It's like fishing. Is that what you go about? Is that the new catchphrase thing? Yeah.
It's not my catchphrase at all.
Yeah, I didn't even know
Oh.
it was based on an anime. Because it sort of, like I was saying to Alec this morning, it certainly felt like a load of video games that we have now in terms of the roguelike stuff that we have.
I thought you was going to say, like I was saying to Alec this morning, I would have preferred more of Zack Snyder's DCEU.
Okay.
let's not
Okay,
start
so
him off
that,
with
let's not
that.
go to that, right?
Like,
Um,
like I said to Alex this morning, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
It was so it's something like when me and Ben saw it, I think didn't we go to like a Warner Brothers press screening for that?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, before I started hating on them. Um, I wasn't sort of familiar with the roguelike sort of gaming style anyway. And obviously it never occurred to me that it was based off an anime. So I could see why it then hit with Simon and Emmanuel with the sort of anime link, and I reckon I genuinely think that John would love this film as well because of the roguelike and the anime. I just think it sort of meshed it all in really well. Instead of just being like, hey, it's just a Tom Cruise film.
I guess the point is, right, that I feel like we're skirting it, is that we've not the dialogue and the way that like everything is like shot and like the way that they interact with each other is like it's kind of Hollywoodish, but not really Hollywoodish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like this all their sort of like smaller interactions are very you feel like it's not the typical Hollywood writing stuff that they feel like there's something else that's been added into it, and it's like you're not quite sure where it is. And obviously that's where the manga and anime stuff influenced this. And afterwards you watch it and you go, it's not a typical, because it's not a typical Hollywood action film, and it's got like all the other little bits on it. It makes it a more, because from what I remember as well, that when this first came out, not that many people watched it, and it didn't like bomb at the box office, but it didn't make a
It made the
lot
numbers
of
it
money.
needed.
Yeah, but from what I understand as well, that all the DVD, Blu-rays, and like download sales made it quite a sleeper hit as well. So it's like, all right, fair enough. So it's like anime, like, so it's just like, all right, when it first came out, it goes, people give it a miss. Afterwards, they watch it like, it's like goes to the show. Everyone buys the DVD, and it's fucking fine. And it's like, all right, yeah, cool. It's just like, yeah. Oh yeah, I like your face, Andy. It's so. Yeah.
Apparently, Tom Cruise
I'm not
really
buying.
wanted the sequel as well.
Yeah, he
Mm.
had been trying to keep. I think it's still kind of like in the stages of it may happen, but the fact it's been so long, it's kind of like the ship has sailed in a way.
Tom Cruise seems to be like that of all of his sci-fi films, though, because he wanted something more for Oblivion. He wanted something more for Minority Report, even if it was just like a prequel or some sort of other area that can be
Yeah.
done. Not necessarily him being in it, but he wanted
A
those
spin-off.
worlds to be sort of explored more.
I do get the impression that Tom Cruise like generally raps on a film and is immediately like, yeah, that was great. Let's do 5 more.
That's why we have Mission Impossible 22 this summer,
I think
followed
that's,
by Top Gun 3 next year.
yeah, Top Gun.
Probably.
There's one of the weird things about the films, like marketability. Is that a word? Marketability.
Yeah, market.
Yeah.
Break out Grammarly or
Yes.
don't. Shit.
Mix it up.
Break it out, but just vet it a bit.
Because when obviously it was based on the story All You Need Is Kill, they were originally going to make the film with their title, but then right before the film came out,
Yeah.
they decided to change it to Edge of Tomorrow. And then right before the DVD came out, in the stretch to try and make it more profitable or more interesting, they called it Live, Die, Repeat. So it's kind of like they couldn't decide on what to call it in the end.
I really wanted to make a joke saying, did Zack Snyder ask to make Edge of Tomorrow?
Zack Snyder's Edge of Tomorrow is just a promise that he might swear.
Oh, it would be more so, man. I think.
Oh man.
I do think they made the correct kind of choice to go like, because if they had gone like, all you need is kill, then like, yeah, You
All you
can't-
need is kill.
Yeah,
kill,
but like
No,
I feel
no,
like
no, no,
everyone
no.
would complain because they got kill in the name, right? All the people are like,
Yeah.
no, or the
But
or
it's
the-
still so it doesn't work in English.
all you need is kill.
Yeah,
kill.
that
As in,
doesn't mean anything in
Kill
English.
is all you need.
it'd be hard to translate in other languages, though. Wouldn't it?
Maybe tomorrow is a much more marketable name.
All you need is verb. Doesn't
Verb.
Yo,
verb,
Bill.
Verb is all you need.
I mean, it doesn't have the best message though. Anyway,
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, no, wait, no, I'm not gonna make that joke. That's too depressing. Never mind. I'll skip. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. Anyways, so who was your favorite character from all of those J Squad guys? Who was your best not two main characters?
Best not two main characters.
Who was,
Hmm.
except from Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, who was your favorite, like, supporting cast member?
Well, Paxton.
Oh, actually, that. Well, I'll give you an answer, but that's also reminded me of another bit that made me go, "That's an anime." It was it was so the favorite character is probably Brendan Gleeson's guy.
Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, so the bit that made me go, "That's an anime," is that first interaction where he's like, "Okay, we'll do things your way. Have him arrested." I was like, "That's that is straight out of the pages of the manga."
I want to disagree, but I can't. So that's probably the right side there.
I mean, I can't. I'm too deep in. I can't tell anymore.
See, that I
Interesting.
believe was from a manga because I was like, I don't really buy this entirely. Stupid manga.
I did have to explain a few things to Camilla. She's like, "Oh, okay.
What did you?
What's he got in for this guy?" It's like he obviously doesn't care.
Mine
Wait.
is mine is probably Bill Paxton's character.
Oh,
Really?
He's
yes.
the lead sergeant guy.
Yeah.
I sort of found the way he sort of portrayed himself quite amusing, and then when Tom Cruise kept coming back and then having his lines jacked from him, he seemed to get the right ump with it, and that sort of amused me more.
I really hope the sentence was you're gonna say was gonna be. I really liked how he was in Aliens.
And I really like how he was in Aliens.
I do like
I
that the thing that you enjoyed most was just like low level annoyance.
I appreciated that line phrase like, oh, why did they call it cranberry then? And he's like, don't know, why do they call it Silent Hill? And he's like, don't care, never fucking asked. And it was like, yeah, I like that. That's okay. Like, yeah, it's some good one.
Mm.
I think this is like one of the last ones he did before he died, actually.
It probably would have been, yeah.
Mm.
Fisher.
Yeah,
Sure.
he died in 2017.
Shame.
Not to bring that down. I'm not sure who I'd pick out necessarily from J Squad, but I think I did appreciate. I feel like I didn't get to spend a lot of time with a lot of them, so I was actually more enamored with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt because I was like, yeah, because like I've seen reviews where they're going like, they're really boring and they're just not acting that much and they're really bland. And I'm like, no, I think these two are characterized very fucking well. I think they're really good in these roles. But yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time with J Squad, and then they kind of all team up, and then we lose half of them, and then there's like a random, there's a random guy who just shows up to blast the turret off the back of the plane. And I was like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, oh no, Takeda's dead. And I was like, who's Takeda? What the fuck? I don't know if he got like brutally destroyed by like the editing room. But he just seemed to show up out of nowhere, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's sad." And I was like, "Who was he? What the fuck?"
You forgot him already?
But I think the moment like with J Squad is when Fatty goes down onto the beach, and he's like, "Yeah, we made it," and then the plane falls on him, and Tom Cruise is like, "Ah, shit." And then the second time, he's like, I need to immediately save this guy from getting killed. And then he gets killed by it.
Crash,
And then he
it's
saves him
great.
on the third time and also gets away. And I was like, okay, cool. And then by about the 47th time he's done that, he is so done saving this guy. He's just like, fuck it. And he's just like, just trying to get through it. And it's like, yeah. Because like that's such a cool little continuation. Because I'm like, this guy's a coward. This guy's like characterized as only being like selfish and in it for himself. And the first thing he does is try and save someone on like the second opportunity he gets. And then the third opportunity he gets. And then by the time he's done it so much, he's like, I can't, fuck you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back on the 200th time and I'll get you. But like, I can't involved doing this. It was just a really cool little measurement stick. So I guess like for default, I liked Fatty who couldn't get in the mech without being naked. That's my
Yeah, okay.
I think it's hard for me to pick a favorite in J Squad. Like I'll try and do two. Outside of J Squad, maybe the scientist guy. He just made me laugh. It's just like I found it. It's like, yes, you found it. It doesn't make, because obviously he's been through this so many times. But the scientist guy made me laugh. In J Squad, I like the same guy that Alec pointed out. That always made me laugh. There's a point like late at night, he's just like, I didn't mind doing extra push-ups or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I also kind of liked Ford's character, who wasn't actually Ford. I feel like that's a reference to something else that has been in a few other old stories of like things that used to actually happen, like in old wars.
Mad Men. Oh wait, spoiler! No, ignore that.
Okay, cool.
No.
Um,
I just want to say, actually, I forgot that kid. He's from Attack the Block.
how is he?
Yeah, I
He was.
recognized him specifically because I was like, oh, he looks like the little dickhead I work with.
Yeah, he was John Boyega's best mate in that film.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's him again. That's nice.
Cool. But yeah, I think them two in J Squad probably my favorite ones.
It's the difficulty, really. You don't get to spend a lot of time with them, other than like the ones who survived the plane crash. And it's like, oh, I love Griff.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's Australian.
It's a lot to balance, and to be honest, even though he spends a lot of time with them every day, it's a small portion that's the same every single day. So it's just like we're not gonna learn. It's interesting how he's learned new things, and I feel like he probably learned new things because people told him certain things as they were dying.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, it's like the virus thing where she told him her middle name was Rose, even though she lied like the first few times. Like, my middle name's not like, what did she say, Penelope or something, right? And it was like,
Peyton.
Peyton or something, right? Oh, right, yeah. It's like, my middle name's not Peyton. Because, yeah, but you told me that. I probably told you that just to shut you up. Yeah, it's like, it's all like all those like personal moments that because I feel like going back to it again in the manga, there was like conversations with each character. There are some side characters, like there's the lady in the cafeteria, because he goes and dies so many times. He's been able to eat everything on the menu in the cafeteria because he goes, I guess I'll try this today. Because if I die again, I can always try the next thing on the menu.
No,
So
he
it's
should have done it old boy style. He should have just gone like dumplings and nothing else,
oh fucking
and then
hell.
just done that, just to make sure we've got like all the mangas just covered.
But yeah, it's like he went through it all. Right? There's like, because again, it's not shown in the movie. It's obviously like shown off screen on whichever particular reset he had to do. That he really got to be friends with pretty much all of J Squad, to know about Ford and his like what he's done and how and when he got like, I think it was not Griff, who's the other guy who was like, oh, yeah, well, I used to go to middle school and all that stuff. It's like all that information is it's all there, that they all know that it's what's happened to them, but they're like, how would you know that? That's like, it's creepy, but it's very telling on like how deep they've actually had a conversation with him, and that's interesting to like, if it's not shown, but the context is there, and it's quite cool to see that.
Yeah. As a random another reference to the manga, Vratoskis, is that how you say her name?
Polish name, yeah.
Yeah.
Rita, Polish name.
Yeah.
Vratoskis.
So this love of coffee is a love of coffee as well in the manga. But in the manga, it's really hard to get real coffee anymore. Most of the beans are synthetic because of how long the war has been going on. But she manages to get some like real beans from, I'm not sure if it was Africa or somewhere, or South America she was traveling through. But they gave her some beans for like saving their town. And she's like, oh, thanks. And she's like grinding up coffee for them to drink, which is a whole nother thing. But yeah.
There's also one of the small, peaceful, quiet moments. And it was like the quiet moments that help emphasize the action as well, because they're really like small human interactions that make it, which I feel like is an anime thing as well, because it's like the small, extremely long expositional talky bits that are in most animes. But like, it's like super long. It's like just two guys sitting down drinking coffee and go, so this is my backstory for about 13 chapters. Okay, get settled in. And afterwards it's like, yeah, okay. But we still read it because it's like manga, right? And afterwards, okay, now I've given you my exposition and my backstory. Explosion time. A fucking helicopter exploding. And it's like, all right, yeah, that's perfectly settled in. And yeah, especially with Rita and how her determination to get onto that helicopter and die and get. Actually, yeah, this is actually what this.
I am determined to die.
Pretty much, right? She was so determined. She goes, look, he's Tom Cruise's character. Cage was like, look, this is as far as you go. Every time we've done this, you die. Please don't do this. Please don't die. Because I'm doing this anyway. But you're gonna die. I don't care. Because she keeps getting into that helicopter and she keeps fucking dying. And I guess that's also like takes a mental toll on him, because he's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just not gonna do it anymore. And it's like
there's a shovel or something. Just like
it's just,
oh god, you just awoke a memory from primary school.
wait, what?
No, we don't have to go into that. It's fine.
Okay, in any case, extra tidbit. I remember when we first get introduced to Emily Blunt's character with Rita, as she's walking out to like with her other like squad to the plane. There's the one guy that goes, "Hey, it's the Full Metal," and he gets punched in the face or something. That's her brother. Because everyone else was too scared to say it to her, but he was like, "I'll say it to her. I know, I'm a brother. I could say whatever I want to her." And he was like, "Hey, it's Full Metal, bitch!" And he just punches her face. It's supposed to be a real genuine punch because that machinery is heavy, and she actually hit him, and he was like, "Ah, that actually fucking hurt. Why did you hit me that hard? Because you're a brother. That's why I hit you that hard."
To be fair, to be absolutely fair, if that was my sister, I'd 100% do that. Sup, Full Metal
Bitch. Bang.
It's quite an interesting one because in the manga, it's a term of like respect.
What, Full Metal bitch?
It wasn't. It's a nickname of respect. It wasn't said in a way of like, take this. This is the nickname to you. But it was still really funny. I really like.
Just don't say it to the waitress tomorrow.
Full Metal out.
Bill, Full Metal bitch.
No. We can do it. We just gotta go, "Do you like manga?" And she says yes. We can go, "Full Metal bitch." It's a code of respect. It's okay.
Yeah, in no context does that work. I was also surprised when I first read it. It's like respect. That does not translate as respect. But maybe it's an army thing.
I believe it was Akon who once said, "I'm trying to find the words to describe this girl without being disrespectful. Damn, what a sexy bitch." Basically the same, innit? Damn, what a Full Metal bitch. It's not disrespectful. Akon said so.
I was trying to remember if it was like a translation error because it's like no, because KG.
You wouldn't know enough in a call, would it?
Because like in the because obviously KG is Japanese, but I don't even remember her name in the manga, but I remember she's supposed to be from the States, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe it was just like a translate. I think it actually might have been like a lost in translation thing, but yes, it's the Full Metal bitch. But it's because like there's lots of like translation errors in manga as well, and on purpose as well, because there's like I remember there's a teacher from Russia in like a manga called Assassination Classroom. Her name is Ivanovich. I goes, "Professor Bitch, what?" And it's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, she's Bitch Sensei, yes. Hello, Miss Bitch." And it's just like, that's how it. And it's like, "No, Ivanovich, Miss Bitch, yeah, that's what we're trying. That's what we say. So you're Bitch Sensei, you're Miss Bitch. That's it. That's like, and it just stuck throughout the whole manga. And I think that might have been one of those things. It could be. But I just like, I don't know, it might have been. It could have been endearing. It could have just been just a mistranslation. Who knows? That's anime.
Fucking anime.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows, I might choose more anime later.
Oh.
All right.
You gotta consult Alec first.
No, I don't.
Look, as long as you call me Full Metal bitch, that's okay. It's a term of respect.
Just call him bitch.
Or bitch will do. I also answer to Honey Toes, Sugar Tits,
Jiggly tits.
Jiggly Tits, etc.
I have the toes.
I did catch someone with that the other day. Someone was like, "Hey, Alec, I had a nickname," and I was like, "Pits, Pitsy Poo, Pitsy Wiener," and he was like, "Okay, well, aside from like your surname, what else?" And I was like, "Phallic." I had that.
Wait, what? Hey there, Phallic, what are you doing? Was he just trying to go, "Hey there, Dick"? What are you
I took it as complimentary, really, but
in a way that people think they misheard you. They said, "Wait, what did you say, Alec?" Okay, yes,
Alec.
Alec.
When I was in year 2, I didn't think my name rhymed with anything, and then I was like, damn. Turns out it do.
To say it and have so many people turn their heads, be like, yeah, I look at it, they just be like, I must have misheard that.
So,
Oh, bro.
anyways, we lost our train of thoughts and how this was going. So let us go to favorite scenes.
I've
Yeah.
got quite a few, so I'll let someone else go first.
I
You
like
wanna
the
go?
bit. I like the bit where Tom Cruise dies and starts over again.
You must have loved it, man.
I
Yeah,
swear
it good.
to God.
Yeah, it good. Yeah.
I've just got an image of you sat there like, yes, he's doing it again.
At the end of the
Do
film,
the
I'm like,
thing, Tom
fucking hell,
Cruise.
my hands are sore from clapping.
You just like the escapism of a world where Tom Cruise never dies.
Saying that, the director said he really wanted Tom Cruise to do this because he'd be playing a character who sucked at what he was doing, which he actually do. And that also reminded me of part of the reason I liked the newest version of The Mummy. I didn't actually think it was a great film or anything.
That is a rarely spoken sentence.
Oh.
Two things. Tom Cruise gets the crap beaten out of him multiple times. And then you have Thingy playing Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
Russell, which I love him playing that role.
Welcome to World of Gods and Monsters.
I was like, yes.
I wanted that film to be better.
I so wanted that film to be better.
Yeah.
Oh.
For me, it's one of those mid films. Like, if it's on, I'll watch it. I won't seek it out.
Yeah.
It was just fun about watching it.
I get it again.
But let's remember, like, Emmanuel also likes Morbius.
Whoa! Shit! Maybe he should have reset the day and made a different decision.
Nope. Same decision again and again.
Oh, damn. I hope it's not your next pick, but I kind of do hope it is your next pick.
No,
I hope it's not.
no, I have what I think is going to be a good film for my next pick.
But it could be Morbius, so for that criteria.
No, it's never going to be Morbius.
Can we have a clue of your next pick?
If most people hadn't seen it, I might even pick Interview with a Vampire because I have.
Whoa! Damn! Oh, I have seen. So
Exactly.
I think a lot of people have really.
You should pick it anyway for shits and giggles.
Nah, no. I think so many people are familiar with it. You know, it's just not worth.
That'd be such an interesting double bill. Morbius, Interview with a Vampire. I was like, huh? Okay. I mean, I get the connecting points, but it's like, what? Could you just imagine?
But I mean, you know, why bother doing that?
Yeah, you don't want to put Interview with a Vampire in a double bill.
No, you don't want to do that. That's just...
I see. It's not that good. Okay.
Yeah, nah.
it won't compare to Morbius. Morbius is the best.
Oh god.
Really?
Oh god.
Look, it's got Kirsten Dunst. Like, what's the point?
It's that bad.
No. No.
Yeah,
I
man.
think
It's really bad. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's lots of other Dracula films that you could pick.
No,
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, like
Loads of other Dracula
Nick
films.
Cage's Dracula.
But similarly, you wouldn't want to put a Dracula film in double bill either.
Oh, that would be terribly embarrassing.
My one point, but it's too short. It's actually Blood Plus The Last Vampire.
Wait, what is that your next pick?
No, it's not.
Oh, right.
Hang
It's a-
on. It's my pick before this.
Man,
But
what
this is a rare situation where Emmanuel knows what he's going to pick.
but it's only like 45 minutes long.
Yeah, but it's still a movie though. It's not. I mean, it's an anime, but it's still. Oh no, you say Blood Plus or Blood the Last Vampire because it's difference.
I
Sorry, I
fucking hate anime.
Blood the Vampire. I think the one that's 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, but it's still a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought we've discussed as long as it's considered a movie, the length doesn't really matter too much, does it?
No, not really. Like, this is something that me and Ben have been talking about because we both want to pick a Wallace and Gromit, but they're all very short.
Ah, then
Nothing
maybe
wrong with a short.
maybe
Well, it's just,
where it's like, or we do a combined pick where it's Walter Gromit plus Blood the Last Vampire. There you go.
Oh, what a double bill. Yeah, I've got that.
that's a double bill that rivals Jaws and The Greatest Showman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Legendary, that legendary double bill that killed John the first time.
Greatest
Uh,
Jaws, man.
What do these have in common? Nothing.
The only thing they have in common is that they're being picked in the same way.
And their films.
It's the first film that said they need a bigger boat, and it's the second one that got a bigger boat and fucked it up.
Yeah, that's true, actually. 2 pursuits of a bigger boat. Told very differently.
God.
So who's
Favorite
got
scene.
favorite scenes?
I don't want to take them all, but fucking I will. I really like that scene that Rob thinks is shit and animated. Just after he's been doing it for a little while, and the guy's telling the joke, and he's like, "Hey, there's something wrong with your suit," and then Tom Cruise is like, "There's a dead guy in it," and I was like, "Fuck!" That was so fucking hard. Just like, jeez.
When you said the scene I think is shit, I thought you was talking about the news exposition, and I was like, that can't be a favourite scene.
I really loved all the news. Really loved seeing CNN.
I took a whole point off his production because of those bits, because there's a bit where they've spliced Tom Cruise in, but they've obviously tried to make him look taller than he is. So it looks like his knees are like shoved into the desk in front of him.
He was just sitting down. It wasn't that tall. It wasn't that
sitting
problem.
down. He was sitting down with his chair on the highest setting possible.
Look,
But don't
We've
they
all
do
done
that?
that before.
if Tom Cruise was taller, he couldn't do all those amazing stunts. So
The
shut
thing
the
is,
fuck up.
in Mission Impossible and Jack Reacher, they make him taller by camera angles.
Well, this is the problem with Tom Cruise, isn't it? Like, I
He's
don't mind
admitted.
him. I don't mind him being short. I'm perfectly fine with him being short. I'm not sure he is.
He's not short, and he's not in the closet.
He likes running.
Saying
Yeah.
that, not surprised. He almost died in this film.
He died quite a lot of times. Oh,
Yeah.
you mean in
That's
real
a
life?
recurring. You've only watched the first 5 minutes.
He nearly died. The whole film is him dying.
I guess it's fine for this film as well because the mech suit is like up anyway, so it makes him taller anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's all covered up his height as well.
They should have just renamed it. They should have just renamed it to The Life and Times of Tom Cruise.
He nearly died during the film, but then he reversed the time. It's like him not dying.
It become taller. Oh man!
Oh.
But it was when Emily Blunt crashed the car into a tree. It was just like, oh, we almost died there. She had
Oh, that
missed.
legitimately like caused the problem.
Yeah, like
Oh, wow.
she missed her mark and crashed into a tree.
Oh shit.
Oh right, yeah. I think that was an interview as well because she's got a scar somewhere on her body. I don't know where that she still has. Like
On
a
her
visible.
Bum.
It might be, but it's quite visible still. But it's like we're not going to.
What a whore.
we're not gonna be able to see it, you know.
I wouldn't be against her showing us.
Yeah.
Oh God, pervert.
And
Sorry, it is your birthday.
no, it's not.
Oh,
It'll be tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow either.
oh.
So, anyone else for favorite scenes?
I actually have a genuine favorite scene. It's basically the scenes of Brendan Gleeson, like Rob pointed out. Brendan Gleeson's character is unintentionally really funny. Like he's got like just a straight face, and as soon as Tom Cruise leaves the building, on 2 occasions he tries to have him arrested and then tried to have him killed. And for some reason I really just took to those scenes. Like they felt like a part of a different film for some reason. Like where you've had like throughout the entire thing of Tom Cruise has a challenge. He's got to die loads of times to find where the challenge is, but then you have those 2 odd scenes where he's in the office with Brendan Gleeson's sergeant guy. First time obviously trying to get out of duty and then getting arrested, and then the second time trying to blackmail him to give him the bit of tech that he needs, and then they try to kill him. I just think those 2 scenes were really well pulled off.
Yeah. Oh, the part where Tom was just like, "Please don't shoot him." This time, like, "Please don't shoot him." I was like, "She shot him another time." Wait, what?
Oh yeah, he says this time, doesn't he? Oh yeah. So this is probably third to fourth time round. It's like, no, let me talk to him a bit longer before you shoot him in the face. It's like, yeah. And I guess that whole entering the building scene was so well choreographed as well. It's like, yeah, the guy with the yellow band, like armband, always seems to recognize you. So just stand a bit to my right. And we've gone, okay, now we've got to dance around into the elevator and around. It's just like, why is it so well choreographed? I mean, I guess you've done it so many times that you would know, but it's insane how well they do it. And it's just like, no one will notice there. And I was like, yeah, so good.
I gotta say though, if you were walking through and you saw someone just ducking into doorways and walking around, spinning Emily Blunt around, you would go like, "What the fuck are you doing? You are trying not to be noticed, and you're doing the worst job at it." Like, what?
That's why it was blind spots.
I mean, you probably noticed the first time, but then they spin around the other way. You go, "Was that Emily Blunt?" No. That's how, because he said
That was Emily fucking Blunt.
Don't be stupid. Why would Emily Blunt be here? Come on,
man.
That's how
That's the most you've ever sounded like Michael Caine.
Man, you guys saying that just reminded me of that Ewan McGregor sketch on one of the. Don't make me say it again.
You sounded like Matt Berry started.
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor.
Do you know when he's on one of those talk shows and he's like, "That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi."
Okay.
I'm not saying his name again.
Okay.
It reminded me of Ewan McGregor.
I felt like
Please.
I was having a stroke saying it.
I can hear you, Ewan McGregor.
I can hear you, Ewan McGregor.
Ben, do you have any favorite scenes?
I think it's probably not to. I think it's the first time he's dropped onto the beach on the helicopter, and you can see that perspective for the first time. Or he has no clue what's going on, and the sequence following that once he arrives on the beach and literally experiences the whole like Normandy landing in a sense, of being a soldier on the front line, not knowing what the hell he's doing or what's going on, and he's just overwhelmed. I think that's really, really compelling, because it's like what you're saying. It's Tom Cruise doing something he's not usually doing. He's scared. He's afraid. He's not confident at all, and he's just like, what the hell am I doing in this hell, this madness and all that. So it was fascinating to see it for that perspective, and you just see all the first things that he has to go through and remember, and some things just stick in his head, and then you can see why, because it's so shocking when he sees that the helicopter just crushed that was his face entirely, and when he sees Emily Blunt's character the first time, those points just really hit him hard, and you can see why it's like, no, I'm not going to forget this, and obviously he has to live through it again and again, and he knows exactly what to expect. So it's like, okay, I get that.
Okay, so Manny, how about you?
I've been trying to think, and it's kind of hard. I do like the montage near the beginning where he just keeps dying over and over again. There's moments where like he's running around in a circle, shooting the mimic around J Squad, and they're just like, what the? Was he? Is he so that good? There's just trying to think. It's lots of little moments. The moment he gets run over. that still makes me laugh.
So a lot of favorite moments are when he dies, right?
Yes, there's moments.
There's a lot of the film.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite moments is actually when he was about to die as well. So yeah.
I think it's one of those. It's one of those things, though. Like I think that's what I appreciate about this story, because you go like, oh, you give the character time travel, or you give the character like the ability to reset a day. They become too powerful, and it's like, not necessarily. That they have to. It's not just a fix all. You need to be able to go through this so many times. You need, it's not an easy thing, and it's like it's just one of those things where you get like, it's a story about a character with power that sucks, and it's like, oh, you can always win with it, and it's just like, yeah, but like, he's aged like a whole year, like doing this. It's horrible. He wants to get killed like as soon as fucking possible. He hates it.
Yeah,
it's no fun.
You can tell how depressed he is at different points. He's just like, I'm so tired.
That's the thing. Like, I love that little bit where they're like, "Oh, I thought you could see the future," and he's just like, "I haven't seen this day," and it's like, that's how fucking useless this is. You can can memorize every detail, but only about this bit. It's like, fuck this. That's so rubbish. Like, it's very helpful, but it's fucking rubbish.
In the manga, since Rita never lost her ability, every battle she had, she would repeat it once, and then the second time she just does it regardless of who dies, whether she can or can't save anyone, and then moves on. So after doing the first one like 200 sometimes, she doesn't go through that again, basically. Also, I didn't realize that Operation Downfall was actually a real plan that never ended up happening.
No, it's because Tom Cruise went back in time and he killed the alien, and so yeah, we didn't need to do it.
Well,
thanks, Tom.
Not for that reason, but maybe.
As far as you know.
But yeah, it was the Japanese kind of plan to end World War II before the atomic bomb dropped, and they ended up having to surrender. And also how when they released the film, they released it on the I didn't realize that was the 70th anniversary of the D-Day invasion.
Hmm.
Yeah, they released that 6 a.m. So they basically tried to release it in a way to kind of, I guess, pay.
Oh, you know what? You know what I just realized? I
Well,
realized I gave a really good score for a film that's mainly set in France, and when it's not set in France, it's set in England.
Well,
Yeah, I must
Makes me-
admit, actually, the red buses were tripping me out a bit. Like,
Well, I
just because
mean-
it's like a huge Hollywood production. It's like,
It-
oh, that's
it
the
is-
bus I get on.
well, no, because you guys forget that it was.
Where's your oyster
Would-
card, Tom Cruise?
A
But
wallet.
I guess it's kind of like. I guess it's kind of like a feeling about it, anyways, because it's forward operating base Heathrow. That's Heathrow Airport, and I was like, I guess that's kind of like it would make sense because of like the size and the space and where it would go. Is just like, and I guess it's just like why it's also part of like what Emmanuel was saying, like
It does also look like
D-Day.
Heathrow Airport on the inside as well. Like,
mm,
I was just like, damn. Yeah, I've been there.
but it's also like it shows the desolate destruction of France. So I think you'll
The
be
desolate
happier.
destruction of Heathrow.
Oh no, because they were at the Louvre, right? But the Louvre is completely destroyed. So I
Yeah.
thought you would have enjoyed it more, Alec, because you see a destroyed France.
No, I actually got annoyed at that scene
Why?
because I was like, Tom Cruise shouldn't survive that.
I
He's
mean,
done a
that's-
really, really good job so far, but now he can't die. He's flinging him through the Louvre, and he's just rolling around. He's just fine. And I'm just like,
Yeah, it's because he turned into Ethan Hunt at that point.
Well, I mean, like sometimes you can play a game and you just like beat it the first time round, right? So it's like
we're
you
not
know,
playing Ready Player One. We're
so
doing Edge of Tomorrow, where he might die for actuals, and then they're like, nah, just chuck him down loads of holes and just throw him through glass and just do whatever. Because now the stakes are really high. Let's just do whatever with him. Just throw him into traffic, blow him up.
well, yeah, I was about to say that ending with like the grenade belt and him like releasing the
Yeah, but that's
Rings.
supposed to be when he dies, but like not like put him on a plane, have him hanging off the plane, having him breaking his neck against a river, and fling him through the Louvre. And I'm like, I'm meant to feel tense here, but you're doing too much damage to him for me to go like, God. I'm not feeling fear at the minute. I should, but you fucked it now. That's what I found ultimately very frustrating about this.
okay.
Mhm. Oh, a reference to aliens. The
What?
sound design of the jacket is the same gun used in Aliens.
Oh, I thought you meant his jacket is like.
Yeah, I got. That's what I heard as well. I was like,
Like,
what is Jack?
nah, my jacket isn't a reference to Alien. It just makes that noise.
Yeah, not your jacket.
Oh, I'll be in the fucking. I won't have you referencing aliens in this.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Oh wait, Emily Blunt
Hmm?
stars in another film with time travel or future events.
Yeah, Looper.
Besides Looper, the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one as well.
Wait, what's the Adjustment Bureau? I feel like I haven't watched that.
The title is the whole plot, to be honest.
Time travel cops, essentially.
Yeah, more or less. It's like a government department that like can alter shit. That's-
Wait, say that again? It's like time traveling cop, but
No, it's like a time travel police. That's what you're just. That's essentially what the Adjustment Bureau sounds like. Yeah, we're
Well,
part of the Adjustment Bureau.
you know how like Minority Report is about sort of preventing crimes that haven't happened yet. It's kind of like that kind of concept, but it's not as clever.
Yeah, but Minority Report was kind of like lackluster anyway. So
Ooh, I mean, I wasn't massively into it, but I don't know if I'd call it lackluster.
okay, it was like it was it made it sort of sense, right? But it was just like it was too much of the like maybe not the flashing the screen shit, right? And there were I like that's the main part of it, how I remember it, and her and him saving the girl out of and like moving around everywhere. But every time I think of Minority Report, I keep thinking him with his fucking fingerless gloves, flicking his screen hand like this, like he's doing gang signs, and I'm like,
what?
what the fuck are you doing? It's just
It
like,
sounds as bad as the manual in the shoes.
Do you know what?
It's-
Right, maybe a better description rather than saying it's like Minority Report but not as good. Maybe a better description is that it's like Loki but a lot better. Because like it's this whole thing about like people who are trying to like police the events in someone's life. Like they've planned out all of the events and they're trying to keep these events that seem random on like the same track.
ugh,
Yeah, that's
I
good
feel
stuff. It's a lot better than
okay,
Lucky.
but like,
I
yeah.
would say it is a better film than Edge of Tomorrow. Hot take.
Oh really?
What is?
Minority
Adjustment
Report.
Bureau. Oh,
I ain't seen it in ages.
Oh yeah, no, Edge of Tomorrow is better than Adjustment Bureau. Minority
yeah.
Report.
Edge of Tomorrow is definitely better than Adjustment Bureau. Adjustment Bureau is just like
It's
I don't
very
know.
frivolous.
Yeah, I feel like they had good intentions. It's just a bit like who cares?
I mean, yeah, just watch Looper instead. It would be fun. I kind of liked Looper. It made its own little sense in its own little loop. But it's like, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. It was fine. For me, that was like, it was not the worst concept of a time travel film. So it was okay. That's good.
I'm not sure if I ever watched Looper.
Really?
Interesting.
It's one of those films that I ever really like. Was I don't know. I just can't remember. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't remember if I've seen it or not. Like, I just.
You'll like
Someone
it, Rob.
should pick it.
It's Ryan Johnson.
Well, I'm okay with Ryan Johnson.
No, it is a really good film.
Right, guys, I need to go to sleep now. I can't keep awake. So I'm.
No worries, man.
Uh,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers,
Any
Ryan,
ending
dude.
thoughts?
no, I've said my piece.
It good.
Yes,
It's good.
and I know what Alex film is, so don't worry. Not me.
Okay.
Don't bother announcing that.
Yeah, forget that. Go straight to Manuel's
Here's
one.
where I changed my film.
I'll find out soon enough. See you later, guys.
No,
Yeah.
you won't.
Take it.
I just found out that originally they wanted Brad Pitt to do the film for Tom Cruise. Imagine
Oh, I
that.
can't imagine that.
That
Is
was-
Emmanuel, is that really fuzzy for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe I
That's
was
better.
Yeah, I think I was covering the mic side.
It's weird, really, because like considering that his career started, well, his action career started with Die Hard. I can't really imagine Bruce Willis coming across as vulnerable enough to do Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh no, not Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt.
Oh, why did I? Oh, it's because I'm looking at Lieber.
I could see. I could see Brad Pitt. Not Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Brad Pitt could, but it would be a different film, like different feeling main character rather. Not different film, but he comes across as much rougher, just like obviously with the not Layer Cake. What film was he in? British
Snatch.
Snatch, yeah.
Yeah.
I know he's done many more things in Seven and all sorts of things, but he has this kind of acting style too. The characters he plays is quite kind of rough around the edges and kind of like, I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed watching Tom Cruise in this role more, but then
I
Brad
think, like,
he's done well.
I
Huh?
think Brad Pitt is like he has more range than Tom Cruise because like with Tom Cruise, especially like since he's been a huge star, no
Mm.
matter what he's in, like as soon as he walks in the room, it's as if Tom Cruise has just walked in the room, and it's like
I think
there's
that's
always
just,
kind of like an aura around him.
I think that's the thing that I had with this, where he comes in and he's like, "Hi, I'm kind of a sleaze. I'm in marketing. I'm a coward," and I'm like, "You're Tom Cruise, like you're gonna chuck yourself out of a plane in a minute, like." You can't. He's one of those people who, like, you just can't really. Like, I'm not saying he's doing a bad job necessarily, but like, he can't help but be Tom Cruise. He's just too
Yeah,
big. Whereas Brad,
he's a movie star rather than an actor.
yeah. Whereas Brad Pitt is an actor,
Mm.
and you can,
Mm.
because even if you look at what he's got in just Film Club, it's Snatch, Seven, and Fury, and those are three completely different characters. And
Okay, yeah. I was about to say, yeah, that's a good range. Yeah,
none of them feel, neither of them feel similar.
I think that's the thing. Like when you said, "Look at what he's got in Film Club," I had to like think about what he had in Film Club. Whereas I think if we had multiple Tom Cruise movies, they would be known as the Tom Cruise movies.
Yeah. And like, yeah, I can picture Bruce Willis doing it because it's like, I can't picture Bruce Willis being cowardly
Mm.
in the same way that I can't really picture Tom Cruise being cowardly.
it's a good point. I can't. It would have a very different feeling because the feeling for the movie would be completely different. It was Brad Pitt instead of Tom Cruise. I guess it would be. Oh, sorry. What's up, Pat? Are you right?
Oh, sorry.
I
thought you said, oh.
It'd be shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said. So it's like maybe it'll be good. It's like it'll be different. We'll agree that it'll be different because it'll have because the way that they act and the way that they would do the stuff will be probably different. So
You know what? I think you know who I think would be good, and I say this having only seen like 2 of his films. I feel like John Cusack would have been a good one.
Oh yeah, man.
I feel like you can.
John Cusack in anything he wants to be casted.
Who's John Cusack again? My mind is blanking on it.
I think I know. I think I know him from Con Air 2012.
and Stand By Me.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I think. Sorry, I know he's in Do the Right Thing. I think. No,
he's not in Do the Right Thing.
Oh shit, that's embarrassing.
He's in High Fidelity. That's another.
That's it. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
There's like a little. Your future picks have just become this amorphous blob to me now. I'm like, yeah, he's in that.
If you can't picture who he is, Simon, then picture Joan Cusack and change the A to a H.
Yes.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know if I can. I'll search this later. Don't worry. Well, I was just like, I just can't picture it in my mind apparently.
Take Jesse from Toy Story and just imagine it's a bloke. So effectively,
no, I have no fucking clue.
which is Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, take Tom Hanks, straighten his hair, and just imagine him pulling a face.
Yes.
That's John Cusack.
Okay.
There you go.
Anyways,
All of this talk about John Cusack has put Emmanuel to sleep.
We finally John Cusacked him into submission.
Sam Verb. He goes, oh yeah, I John Cusack's you. Yeah.
He went to go and picture John
Anyways.
Cusack with an H instead of an A.
Okay.
And his brain just went, nah, fuck you, you're going to sleep now.
Okay. I feel like we've hit, especially with Ben gone and Emmanuel asleep, we've hit like this end of it. So any like final thoughts for this? Because like, as I was saying, for just like final thoughts of this film, I feel like it's still a very well-made film, critically and by the fans, because it's one of the few films that I saw on Rotten Tomatoes that have 90% score on both, which I'm like, oh yeah, cool, that's nice. So it's like it's generally loved by most people. This film, it's not the best film in the world because it has its own little hiccups and like not many people went to go watch it as well. But I feel like it's still, as a sleeper hit, it's still quite popular. And I'm glad I chose it because I can show you that the styles of films and maybe future anime picks can be influenced because of this film.
No.
I'm glad you picked it, man, because I think, yeah, I think, like I said earlier, like I do think it's one of those films that it's probably been missed just because it wasn't recognizable. And I think I don't know, it's a bit of a sad thing for how like sort of, going to the cinema has become something that people like seek out familiarity with. I think if it wasn't for things like reboots and like massive franchises and all of that kind of stuff like taking up everything in space, then maybe it would have done a bit better, and I think a lot of people would have really liked it. So I'm glad it's in Film Club.
I'm also glad it's in Film Club. It, like I said, it's weird where I have a thing and I pick out a problem and I go, hey, if killing an alpha, getting its blood on you, gives you like the ability to turn back time, why'd you send alphas out? And then I watch it again and I go, oh, it's because they're like the central nervous system. So it needs to have an alpha around so it can detect when it needs to reverse time. That's kind of like its femurs and that. If you don't have an alpha about somewhere, then yeah, you can't. You don't know when it's good to reverse time. So that's why they're there. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I started just finding answers everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's all right then. No biggie. And as we said cool, that was close. As I said with the Your Name stuff, time travel's really fucking tricky. It's not an easy one for people to get their head around. So yeah, when like my biggest problem is you chuck Tom Cruise through a window. you chuck Tom Cruise down a hole, and you didn't have Tom Cruise do the little devicey thing in the leg when they were still in Brendan Gleeson's office, and then that way, if they did it, if they did it that way, then he wouldn't have crashed his car and been in hospital, and then he wouldn't have lost the power if he'd just done it in Brendan Gleeson's office. There's no reason to not do it in Brendan Gleeson's office. Like these are the problems I'm finding. But considering we're dealing with time travel, that's pretty fucking good. I have 3 issues. That's very fucking good for a time travel film. And it's like, yeah.
Oh yeah, because like if they did it all right the first time they went through his office and actually got the equipment and they left, and they're like, freeze, don't move, and she shot him. They would have known this time to go, obviously, to go call security on us. Why don't we just stab it while we're, stab it. Yeah, I've never thought about it like that before. Fuck, you made me think about it and go, oh yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
But like I said, this was one that started out. I'd given it a 5 for story, and I paid attention to it, and I looked at it again, and I gave it benefit of the doubt, tried to find explanations for things, and it came out as a 7 for story, and that does not happen very much. Usually they just get worse, but this is the exception. This did better. So
What a rarity that is.
it is Edge of Tomorrow, very rare film. Good job, like it.
It was going to be my choice instead of Usual Suspects. That's how I chose this.
Also, I know that my dad's dislike of Tom Cruise is why I haven't seen many Tom Cruise films. Even he likes this one. So, rare again.
That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
So it's your next. I think it's your choice next for a film. Anyways, is it going to be a Tom Cruise film?
It's fucking not. I'm so done with space and sci-fi. Fuck it. I hate it. I'm just looking it up. I'm just looking up where to find it. So I did not do this.
Netflix.
It's on Netflix. There you go. Free one.
I think it is a Netflix film, isn't it?
Yeah.
But as long as you pay for it.
I was at a pub quiz the other night and I learned that 17 million people in the UK subscribe to Netflix. I thought that was bonkers.
Especially since Netflix has gone to shit.
Well,
Well,
it's just like, that's like a quarter of the country. That's mad.
it hasn't gone to shit because it's got this film on it. My pick is The Trial of Chicago 7.
No. It literally my thing just. I heard trap, and it literally lagged for me. What did you say?
That's all you need. It's trap.
No, seriously, what the fuck was your film?
Simon, it's like fishing, you know. You just gotta, you got a little bit. You just
All
gotta.
right, fine. I'll be patient. I'll watch the VOD later.
No, it's The Trial of Chicago 7, starring. I'm very sad to admit this is the first Eddie Redmayne film we've got, and it's because of me. Once again, I've picked a film starring someone I don't like, but
That's quite a back-to-back. Our first Tom Cruise film and then our first Sacha Baron Cohen film.
oh shit, yeah, it is our first Sacha Baron Cohen film.
Sacha Baron Cohen is my favourite character in this film.
He's not a
Hey.
character.
Or actor, even.
He didn't go on trial in Chicago.
Sacha Baron Cohen's a real person. He's a real boy.
No, his name is Ali G.
That would have been really jarring, like a 2-hour-long courtroom drama. And then at the end, just Sacha Baron Cohen as himself.
Eddie Redmayne's just going like, you weren't even alive during the Vietnam fucking war.
Oh, right. I've seen trailers for this film. Right. Yeah. Okay. I know which film we're talking about
I
now.
saw this during one of the lockdowns. So I really enjoyed it.
I did check with Emmanuel, so I'm in the clear. I was hoping he'd corroborate me, but he is unconscious.
I mean, his phone is probably like this on him, right? So it's like he's asleep.
All I can tell is that he's got 2 giant slugs on his seat. But it's okay because they're going in single file to hide their names.
Okay.
Anyway,
Alright.
yeah. Fuck Star Beast. It's time for some legal drama. Which is-
Let's
this like-
restart it next round.
Huh?
Let's restart Star Beast next round.
No, Emmanuel's got different stuff and he's gonna potentially steal 2 of my picks.
I mean, to be fair, Emmanuel's still got a pick this round. I'm talking about next round.
Emmanuel could well pick a Star Beast film. You could be in the mood for it.
You know what?
If he picks Prometheus, I'll be so like, just like, what?
I'd rather he picked a Star Beast film than Steal My Film.
I was looking through Emmanuel's watch list earlier, like trying to work out what you might pick. And it didn't help because it ranges from Schindler's List to Mean Girls.
All right, yeah, we've had this conversation, yeah.
Yeah, me and Rob were looking at it on the train. It's so varied.
Oh, he should definitely pick Mean Girls. Like, that is a fucking masterpiece.
It wouldn't surprise
It
me
is.
if you did.
I'd love it if you picked it. That gets straight tens too.
Oh my god.
Barbie can fuck off, but Mean Girls.
The first time I saw Mean Girls was on a flight to LA years ago.
It's something about flying.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's,
Clouds
like,
people's
it's about planes. I'm watching films of planes. What the fuck?
And like I remember flicking through and I was like, all these are shit. And I left it on Mean Girls and I was eating whatever food they were giving at the time. And I shit you not, I enjoyed it so much I watched it another 2 times on that same flight. It was the best thing that they were showing. I fucking love that film.
Well, I mean, that even means like the what they could watch, what you could have watched was so shit. That Mean Girls was the best film. It's like a whole fucking like, I don't even know how to explain what sort of other choices you could have watched. It's kind of like
I can't remember what the other films were. I'm sure
Simon.
some of them are good.
Simon, it's a fucking elite film.
yeah, but like
Yeah, so even you
Yeah.
admit.
I mean, like it's like I actually it might be planes, right? Because I remember I did watch Venom on the plane. I was like, that's
Oh.
not that bad.
Oh,
And-
shut up. Why is it with you and Emmanuel doing shitty superhero
I like Venom,
movies?
to be fair.
I just love the idea of these air stewards on the plane being like, is he alright? He's been watching Mean Girls for the last 6 hours.
Oh, God.
And the best thing is, actually, it was a flight to Dallas because we had to get like 2 flights. And then on the flight from Dallas to LA, I fucking passed out completely.
You're just like,
I
I've watched
spent-
Mean Girls so many times.
I spent over
watching
half-
Mean Girls.
I spent over half the flight to Dallas watching Mean Girls, and then spent the entire flight to LA just passed out, and they had to get people to wake me up to get me off the plane.
Oh, I love that idea.
So that's an image for you for the rest of the night.
It's like the person behind you thinks he's stuck in a time loop because every time he looks over, it's Mean Girls.
He's watching it again?
Because like before I started watching Mean Girls on the first flight, I had a what's it? No, I had a big nosebleed because I ended up sneezing and my nose just blew up, and the seat in front of me.
Oh fucking
Turned
hell,
red for
that's
a bit.
gross. What
So
the
once
fuck,
it-
man?
The stewardess was fucking mortified. I think she was about to pass out.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I
So
feel.
I
when
cleaned
you
it all up. Cleaned it all up. Watched Mean Girls for 6 hours. You know, it was all good. On the flight on the way home, I had like a really bad migraine. So it's
oh my god, Pat! It's like I could just imagine being the person sitting in front of you. You just hear Andrew. I said, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Oh my god!" I would be like, "What the fuck?" I would be terrified, man.
It's not as
Fuck.
funny. It's not as funny as the sneeze at the football today.
Oh, that was so funny, man. It was like a few rows behind us. And this woman sneezed, and as soon as she went, "Achoo," there was a male voice that just went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, but in like a very strong Essex camp voice, which made it funnier.
It was like, "Achoo!" Oh my
Lord.
god!
What the fuck? Okay.
Oh man.
Just think of someone that sounds like Joey Essex.
Okay. Okay.
There was another funny thing, but I can't remember what it was now.
Was it the blokes that were trying to get in the turnstiles? That one fucking was hilarious.
Oh, that was funny, to be fair.
It's yeah. Oh man, there were so many funny things about that. It's a shit ground, but fucking hell.
I'm in a way, I'm glad that we were late, just because that journey to the stadium was hilarious.
We started picking up like people every like 100 yards we went.
The best one was the bloke just in the middle of the road, just looking around. It was like he just spawned out of nowhere, and he was like, "What the fuck?" Oh man,
Barnet's a shithole, but it's not as bad as Gillingham.
but it's a shithole, but not as bad
I
as
feel-
Gillingham.
I feel like you always say this to bait, me, but I'm always like, if you want someone to argue that Gillingham's shit, it ain't me.
I know. Gillingham's a little bit worse than Tilbury.
Just
I-
it could
I
be a lot
fucking hate
worse, man. I wouldn't argue.
I fucking hate Tilbury. It's a fucking dive.
But it's not Gillingham.
It's not
No,
Gillingham.
it's not Gillingham. So, folks, if you're watching it, don't go to Tilbury. You'll hate it.
Folks, if
But
you
marginally less than Gillingham.
Don't go to
Yeah.
Gillingham. Don't go to Barnet.
Yeah, I think it's better
And
that
don't
we end
trust
the call
anyone
there
over.
before it gets stabbed if we ever pass by that area now. Okay.
God damn it.
I
To be
recommend
fair,
Costa
somebody
del
followed us
Dagenham.
into KFC today.
Oh, fucking yeah.
We walked in our Dagenham shirts, and this guy followed us in, and then he was kind of like looking over, and he came up and he went, "You're a Dagenham fan?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." And then he was just really friendly, and he wanted to talk about football.
I declined to say anything because I could probably instigate some sort of hostility. Me as a football fan can be quite, yeah, not the best sometimes.
But what if the football is a foot long?
I thought you'd froze for a second.
No, I was just waiting.
Oh.
But no one got my excellent joke.
I got it eventually.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a really charged up person, isn't he?
Simon, are you coming tomorrow?
Yeah, should be. But it's like
Sweet.
I've got. You might have to like razzle me up from work. I guess I don't know.
Razzle you up?
I don't know what the correct
We need
verb
to go
is.
to Simon's Bakery and do his makeup.
Yeah, you might have to like sneak.
Oh,
you have to.
Give him a glow up.
Yeah, you have to sneak me out.
like phosphorus.
Yes.
So what you're saying is we need to turn up with a really long coat, and then somebody will come on your shoulders, and your mum's just got to think that one of us is really
No.
tall.
No. We'll just do it Obi-Wan style. We'll just hide someone under our coat, and then we'll just walk out and pretend we've got 6 legs.
Yeah, we
Can Obi-Wan Kenobi.
we need the super trench coat, and I need Ben. I just put Ben on my shoulders. We just hide me under the trench coat. It'll be fun. It'll be fine. All right, I should be able to go, but we'll just see how. Well, we'll see how tomorrow actually processes. But that being said, I probably have to go to work early anyway, so end the call right for now for myself.
Well, if
Alright.
you want a distraction via cowboy hat, I'm very happy to provide it.
We'll do.
No,
Alright.
I'll do. You won't do.
That
All
would
right,
be a
lads,
great
I am
distraction to
off.
do.
Yeah, same here, man.